Welcome back to Book Pulse, your channel for sharing knowledge and inspiration to foster personal growth through remarkable books and profound lessons from classic literature. Today, we embark on an inspiring journey through a novel that has touched the hearts of millions worldwide, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. This episode, titled "Where Does True Motivation Come From?", invites you to explore the meaning of life through the story of Santiago, a young Spanish shepherd who courageously pursues his dream, revealing timeless truths along the way. Whether you're searching for your life's purpose or simply need a spark of inspiration, join Santiago's journey and discover the answers that resonate within your own heart. In our teenage years, many of us grapple with fundamental questions. What's my dream? What was I born to do? The world back then feels vast, brimming with possibilities, yet vague and directionless. By age 25, those questions become more urgent. Am I truly chasing my dream? Is the path I'm on aligned with my deepest desires? And by 30, we pause again to reflect. If my dream hasn't come true yet, is it too late to start over? These questions, universal and timeless, reflect the human condition, a longing for meaning, purpose, and an authentic life. If you've ever felt lost, uncertain, or carried a heart full of unanswered questions, The Alchemist, a concise yet profound 200-page novel, will light your way. In just a few hours of reading, this book can reignite your passion and awaken your zest for life. Published over 3 decades ago, The Alchemist has transcended borders, translated into 81 languages, and distributed in over 170 countries. In its native Brazil, it became a cultural phenomenon, rivaling soccer and religion in its impact. Its enduring appeal lies in its ability to mirror the dreams and struggles of its readers. The story follows Santiago, a young shepherd who dares to abandon the familiar to pursue a dream of treasure hidden in the Egyptian desert. A simple yet allegorical tale, it holds lessons that have reshaped how millions view life, dreams, and the courage to pursue them. Santiago's story begins in the rolling hills of rural Spain, where he was born into a humble farming family. His parents, tied to the land, dreamed of a brighter future for their son. They hoped he'd become a priest, a stable, respected profession that would bring pride to the family. To fulfill this expectation, they sent Santiago to a seminary, where he studied scripture and doctrine. But within the stone walls of the seminary, Santiago's heart stirred restlessly. He yearned for the world beyond, craving to travel, meet new people, and embrace the freedom a cloistered life couldn't offer. A life devoted to religion, though noble, felt like a cage to his adventurous spirit. One fateful day, Santiago mustered the courage to confide in his father. With a trembling voice, he admitted he couldn't become a priest. His true dream was to travel the world, explore its wonders, and live unbound by constraints. His father, a weathered man familiar with life's hardships, initially dismissed Santiago's dream as youthful whimsy, an escape from the security his parents had worked hard to provide. But as they talked, something shifted. His father shared a glimpse of his own youth, how he too once dreamed of wandering the world but chose the safe path of tradition. In a quiet moment of understanding, he handed Santiago 3 gold coins. These coins weren't just material wealth, they symbolized empathy, a silent blessing for the dream his father had once forsaken. With those coins, Santiago bought a flock of sheep and began life as a nomadic shepherd. For 2 years, he roamed the Andalusian countryside, learning nature's rhythms and his flock's needs. He read the signs of the seasons, listened to the whispering wind, and marveled at the beauty of the lands he traversed. Along the way, he met farmers, merchants, and fellow travelers, each encounter enriching his life. Though his shepherd's life was simple and fulfilling, a quiet longing burned within Santiago. Deep in his soul, he sensed a greater purpose, a dream yet to take shape, waiting to be discovered. Santiago's life took a dramatic turn when he had the same vivid dream 2 nights in a row. In it, a young boy led him to Egypt's ancient pyramids, pointing to a spot where a great treasure lay buried. The dream was so vivid and persistent that Santiago couldn't dismiss it as mere chance. Curious and unsettled, he sought out a local fortune-teller. With eyes that seemed to pierce through time, The old woman listened intently as Santiago recounted his dream. She declared it a sign of destiny, a call to pursue his personal legend, the purpose each person is born to fulfill. Intrigued but skeptical, Santiago wondered if a single dream could justify appending his entire life. His doubts began to fade when he met a mysterious old man in the village square, who introduced himself as Melchizedek, king of Salem. Dressed simply yet radiating wisdom, the old man spoke with calm certainty. He told Santiago his dream was no coincidence. It was the universe guiding him toward his personal legend. When you want something, all the universe conspires to help you achieve it, he said. Those words struck Santiago like lightning, igniting a fire within him. The king gave him 2 stones, Urim and Thummim, to guide his decisions and urged him to always listen to his heart. But the path ahead required a life-altering choice. To chase the treasure in Egypt, Santiago would have to sell his flock, his livelihood, his safety net. The decision weighed heavily. His sheep were his companions, his anchor. Could he risk everything for a dream that might not even be real? After days of inner struggle, Santiago chose to trust the spark the king had kindled. He sold his flock, gathered his savings, and set sail for Africa, carrying only hope and the belief that treasure awaited him at the pyramids. Upon arriving in Africa, Santiago quickly realized the journey wouldn't be easy. The port city of Tangier overwhelmed him with its unfamiliar language, customs, and chaotic pace. Before he could adjust, a thief befriended him and then vanished with all his money. In an instant, Santiago was penniless in a foreign land. His dream, so close to becoming real, seemed crushed by harsh reality. Standing alone in the marketplace, he felt lost and despairing. But then he recalled the king's words, "The universe will conspire to help you." That faint glimmer of faith pulled him back from the brink. Wandering through Tangier, Santiago stumbled upon a dusty, struggling crystal shop. Seeing the grimy wares, he offered to clean them in exchange for a meal. Without waiting for approval, he set to work, and the results were immediate. 2 customers entered, drawn by the sparkling display. The shop's owner, a gruff but kind man, was impressed by Santiago's initiative and hired him. Over the next year, Santiago transformed the shop into a thriving business. He learned Arabic, embraced the local culture, and introduced bold ideas. He suggested displaying crystals outside to attract passers-by and built a high shelf for the finest pieces. These innovations drew crowds, boosting the shop's revenue. By year's end, Santiago had not only recovered his lost money, doubled it, in fact, but also gained invaluable experience in trade, human nature, and life. He could settle in Tangier, by the shop, and live comfortably. But the pyramids still called to him. Once again, Santiago faced a crossroads: stay in Tangier's stability or pursue his unfinished dream. The shopkeeper, who understood Santiago's heart, urged him to stay, painting a picture of prosperity. But the king's voice echoed in Santiago's mind: "Always remember what you truly want." With a heavy yet determined heart, Santiago left Tangier, armed with experience, faith, and money. He set out across the desert toward the pyramids, and toward his destiny. The vast, unforgiving desert tested Santiago's resolve with every step. After days of battling scorching sand and relentless winds, he reached an oasis, a lush, peaceful haven in the wilderness. There he met Fatima, a beautiful young woman whose gentle strength captivated him. They quickly formed a deep, almost fated connection, a love both tender and powerful. Under a starlit sky, they shared stories and dreamed of a future together. Santiago began to envision a different life, one of peace and happiness with Fatima in the oasis. But Fatima, wise beyond her years, understood that Santiago's dream was bigger than their love. Gazing into his eyes as he spoke of his treasure, she gently reminded him that abandoning his personal legend would lead to regret for them both. "I'll wait for you," she said firmly. "Go find your treasure, then return to me." Her promise sank deep into Santiago's heart, blending love and sacrifice. Leaving Fatima was agonizing, but with renewed resolve. He carried her love, like a guiding light, through the vast desert. The desert grew harsher as Santiago ventured deeper, and danger soon found him. A band of tribal warriors captured him, accusing him of being a spy and threatening his life. To prove his innocence, they demanded the impossible: transform himself into the wind within 3 days. In his desperation, Santiago met the alchemist, a mysterious figure cloaked in black, exuding a commanding presence over nature itself. The alchemist taught Santiago to listen to the soul of the world, the invisible thread connecting all living things. Through meditation and faith, Santiago learned to commune with the sun, the wind, and the desert. With unwavering belief, Santiago poured his heart into the challenge, channeling his love for Fatima, his faith in his dream, and his trust in the universe. Miraculously, wind swirled around him, powerful enough to stun the warriors. Santiago had become the wind, defying the impossible and earning his freedom. This experience transformed him, deepening his understanding of the interconnectedness of all things and the power of unshakable faith. Finally, Santiago reached the pyramids, his heart pounding with anticipation. But the treasure was nowhere to be found. Instead, a band of robbers attacked him, beating him and stealing his remaining gold. As he lay battered on the ground, one robber mocked him, recounting his own dream of a treasure buried under a tree in Spain, near a ruined church where shepherds often rested. Santiago's heart leapt. He knew that tree. It was where he'd first dreamed of the pyramids. Returning to Spain, Santiago dug beneath the tree and found a chest brimming with gold and jewels. The treasure was real, but it was only part of the story. The true value lay in the journey, the lessons learned, the love found, and the courage forged through hardship. Santiago realized that true motivation doesn't come from gold, but from the fire within, the relentless pursuit of one's personal legend. Paulo Coelho's own life mirrors Santiago's in many ways. At 17, his rebellious spirit led his family to commit him to a mental institution. As an adult, he was imprisoned for opposing a dictatorship. By 38, he felt aimless, with little to show for his life. But a 600-mile pilgrimage to Santiago de Compostela in Spain became the turning point that inspired him to write The Alchemist, a story that has guided millions toward their own paths. The Alchemist teaches us that a life without purpose is like a maze with no exit. Clinging to safety or fearing loss can cost us our dreams. Santiago's journey shows that destiny isn't about avoiding regret. It's about daring to live with passion. As Thomas Carlyle once said, a person who knows why they live can endure any kind of life. No dream is too distant if you take the first step. The universe, as Santiago learned, conspires to help those who follow their hearts. The book reminds us that we all carry a personal legend, a dream that defines our purpose. Don't let fear or doubt extinguish that flame. Take a step, even a small one, toward what you truly desire. True motivation doesn't come from external rewards, but from the passion within you. No matter your age or circumstances, it's never too late to begin. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Book Pulse. If Santiago's story has touched your heart, please share it, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to catch our weekly book explorations. Drop your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your reflections and insights. Until next time, keep pursuing your personal legend. Goodbye.